Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jdogg himself from Jdog'S DVD Dungeon. Yeah, I'm bringing you something fun, something a little different this time. I haven't done a video in a little while. I did some DVD updates a little while ago, some box sets and shit I got. This time I'm bringing you, check it out, Canadian Fur Ox, y'all. Nice shirt, eh? But sticking with the theme of the shirt, I'm doing a top 10 Canadian horror movie video. This might be a two-parter because I got some honorable mentions and other stuff I want to mix in. But prepare. You're in for reviews with Relic. Yeah, I got the Toucan. I don't know, unless you're Canadian and watched the Beachcombers back in the 70s and 80s, you wouldn't catch the reference, but Relic, y'all. But yeah, enough fucking around. If you haven't, check out the podcast. Because me and my homeboy Nick Lert from Nick Lert's Movie Barn, aka The Changeling, we're keeping it all kinds of fun on the podcast scene over at Canadian Fur Ox. So check us out at www.canadianfurox.com if you want to go kick back, spend a couple hours of your time, listen to some fun Canadian horror and exploitation talk. Check us out. Yeah, good feedback. So I wouldn't steer you wrong. Jdogg never steers you wrong. So, but enough rambling, enough trying to sell my other shit, my side projects and stuff. Let's get right down to the meat and potatoes. Let's talk some DVDs. Yeah, this is top 10 Canadian films. These are in no particular order, mind you. So when I show them, like, it ain't going to be like this is number 1 and this is number 2. It's just going to be 10 random Canadian films that I like. They might not be Canadian per se, but they were shot in Canada or are pure Canadian films. So not just one actor or none of that kind of shit was in it from Canada. So these are films that were actually shot in Canada. But the first one I'm going to talk about, The Changeling. Yes, not my co-host on Canadian Fur Ox, but the Ghost movie. This is good times. This is a ghost movie, like I was saying, creepy. Like the wheelchair scenes and stuff just give me the shivers. It's got my boy George C. Scott from The Exorcist 3 Legion. The guy kicks serious amounts of ass. That's one badass old man. But yeah, he's trying to figure out the backstory, like the governor and all this have shit to do with this missing kid, and trying to put his soul at rest. And the haunting of The Changeling. Yes, creepy, atmospheric movie. I'm not really a fan of ghost movies, but I dig this one, so check it out if you haven't. It's kind of beat up. I know my DVD, I got it in a used bin, couple bucks. Jdogg gives it the recommendation. If I had to rate it on my top 10 list, it would probably sit about 7 or 8, so if that gives you any idea. Yeah, first one, The Changeling. Top Canadian film. On this one, no introduction needed. The late Bob Clark's classic. This is Black Christmas. This is one of the special edition DVDs that came out. This has like the Black Christmas cards and stuff, but anyway, classic slasher, sorority house, one of the first ones to use like obscene phone calls, killer point of view. John Carpenter kind of based a lot of his stuff from Halloween on this, so he must have smoked a couple doobies and watched Black Christmas and was like, yes, there's a few things I can use from this. But anyway, like Black Christmas and Death Dream, two great Bob Clark movies. I suggest you check Death Dream out. That's on an honorable mention for mine, but I don't have I just got a bootleg or a burnt copy of it, so I'm just going to mention it right now. Check that one out. That's an original. That's a fun movie. Yeah, it's too bad Bob Clark isn't around anymore, because he was actually, I think he was working on redoing Death Dream or something, so it's too bad. Yeah, John Saxon, Margaret Kidder, and Olivia Hussey in Black Christmas. A creepy, fun, it's Christmas time. It's right around the season, so if you haven't seen it yet this season, watch it. Bob Clark's Black Christmas. Not to be confused with that remake piece of shit that came out a couple years ago. Make sure you get the original, people. Yes. Ooh, this is... I campaign this movie all the time. My buddy Ryan Nicholson, Plot Digger Films out of Vancouver. Gutter balls. Throwback to the slashers. This is full-on nudity, TNA, original kills, kick-ass score on this one. Well, this is just a fun movie. The acting's what you'd expect from a slasher. The kills are phenomenal. I can never say enough about this. I hope to get a copy of Hanger soon so I can review that and maybe have Ryan on my show someday, the Canadian Ferox podcast. So that'd be cool. I'd like to pick his brain about gutter balls and stuff. So yes, great movie. Check it out if you haven't. Please, people, I can't stress it enough. It's a great slasher. It's a lot of fun. Don't go into it expecting like Academy Award winning acting or nothing. Just take it for what it is. The slasher event of the 2000s, if you ask me. Gutterballs, Ryan Nicholson, Plot Digger Films. Check it out or else Jdog will come find you. Yes. Ooh, I got a lot of these to talk about. David Cronenberg, right in Toronto. Yeah, he's like Canada's horror god, I guess. And Romero, he kind of defected to from the U.S. to Canada. He's with us now, but George, you got to come out with something a little better than what you've done the last couple. I love you to death. I love your movies. I still enjoy what you're doing, but something a little fresher, something a little more edgy. But anyway, back to Cronenberg. This is The Brood. There's some evil kids. Yeah, love this movie. It's creepy. Little dwarf, evil-ass kids in it. Like I said, directed by Cronenberg, shot in Toronto. Like, these movies are as Canadian as maple syrup and Moosehead beer. So check them out if you're into Canadian films. If you're into like the whole body horror, real psychological, make you think stuff. This isn't stuff for you burnouts and little kids and stuff. Like Cronenberg stuff's got to be taken with with an open mind, and you gotta sit there and think a little. So prepare for that if you're gonna watch them. But they're fun. They're awesome. They're very original films. Check it out if you like creepy shit and evil kids. This is The Brood. Cronenberg again, everyone. Videodrome. Yes. Oh, yes, this is an awesome movie. Like, I love Videodrome. It's good times, like some of the special effects with the TVs and stuff. Great stuff. Cool idea. Like Videodrome, it's about a guy who owns a TV station. Like James Woods, he owns this TV station. He's trying to get ratings, trying to find a edgy show. He gets a tape for this show called Videodrome. It's like a torture murder kind of show. So he's like, damn, this is pretty funky. Like, I got to get my hands on this. But the thing about Videodrome is the more you watch, it starts to take over your mind and makes you hallucinate and do weird shit. And yeah, it's just a trippy movie. Like, this is like a part of the whole acid horror genre of movies. Like, take a little psychedelics and watch this and prepare to go to the moon. I don't know, J-Dog don't do that. He doesn't condone none of that stuff, but I'm sure that's what some people were doing back in the 80s when this came out. Trippy movie. Can't recommend it enough. If you're a fan of Cronenberg and never seen Videodrome, I suggest you go back to the cave you're living in and pull out your Select-O-Vision and watch like an old Rocky Balboa, Rocky 1 or whatever you got, Jaws, whatever you got on those old Select-O-Vision players. Because you obviously ain't been living in the real world if you haven't seen Videodrome. But check it out. J-Dog says get it. It's good times. Yeah. I still got some time. I'll do another one here. Another Cronenberg. Let's get the Cronenberg out of the way. This is Rabid. Oh yes. This is a fun movie. Once again, this is like part of the whole body horror when he was doing that stuff, like Shivers, Rabid, like movies like that back in the 70s. It's kind of a, well, what would you call it? A disease, a virus movie. Like, people get infected, go crazy, turn homicidal and stuff. Good times. Like I said, make you think kind of horror. So sit down, relax, open your mind, and watch some Cronenberg. This is, like I said again, great Canadian film. They were all shot in Toronto. Like my co-host, the Changeling, could say a lot more on that because he actually lives in Toronto and knows where these movies are filmed. J-Dog, he's living in the woods here in the bush in Saskatchewan, so they ain't filmed too many movies around here. I think Gone with the Wild maybe, or some kind of shit like that years ago. North of here they filmed some old movie, but it sucked. Anyway, David Cronenberg, Rabid, check it out. Sweet Canadian film. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. This is part 1 of J-Dog's Top 10 Canadian horror films. Stick around for part 2. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I'm kind of rambling, and it's late at night, and Jdog'S bored, and all I got to talk to is the computer. So thanks for listening, Mr. Computer, and you out YouTube land. But until part 2, peace out.